Well, I was wrong. Actually, not totally. You see, I thought we were going to get bonuses on our warehouse goods this week, but we are not. Instead, we're getting double bubble on our vehicle warehouse, which, in all honesty, I kind of like, and I wish Rockstar would roll out bonuses on vehicle cargo more often. But for whatever reason, we're only treated to this on very rare occasions. So, in honor of this very special week, today I want to go over my top 5 vehicle sourcing missions for your warehouse. These are my top 5 favorite, easy, and quickest missions that'll have you sourcing vehicles faster than, well, something that sources vehicles fast, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, my point is to briefly go over my top 5 and provide any tips and tricks along the way. Alright, so way back in 2016, Rockstar introduced the vehicle import-export business that was an extension of the CEO organization. The premise was, and is, pretty straightforward. You purchase a vehicle warehouse, you then source vehicles, which is Rockstar's politically correct way of saying stealing vehicles, and then you turn around and export them, which, again, is Rockstar's way of saying selling the vehicles for profit. When it comes to sourcing the vehicles, you'll end up getting one of 15 different varieties of missions. And of these 15, there's sometimes slight variances in each, which means, all added up, there's a lot of different flavors. Okay, so before I dive in, I'm going to go over my recommended setup equipment for not just my top 5, but for all of these. Now, this list isn't requirements that are needed. If you're a newbie, don't feel like you have to have every one of these. You can still complete the sourcing missions with the bare minimum. It's just going to make things a whole lot easier. So here's the list. Number 1, the Terabyte. This will allow you to kick off the sourcing missions anywhere on the map. Number 2, the Mark II Oppressor, the quick, weaponized land anywhere grinding vehicle of choice. Number 3, the Cargo Bob or the new Iron Mule, a perfect second option to deliver your cargo. And finally, number 4, the Up and Atomizer. As you'll see here in a moment, for one of the missions, this gun will make things a whole lot easier. Alright, so let's jump in. My top 5 sourcing missions, in no particular order, are the following. And I will mention that I am not including the easiest of these missions. This is the one where you simply head to the location of the vehicle, enter the vehicle, and then drive it back to your warehouse. No surprises, no enemies, no nothing. I'm not including it because it's a bit of a rarity, and there's really nothing to cover. So, yeah. Okay, coming in at number 5 is the one I call the Car Bomb. You'll head to a location and find that the vehicle is simply parked out in the open. After you get in, though, you'll hear your assistant explain that the car is fitted with a bomb and will detonate if the speed drops too low. You'll have 20 seconds to accelerate and to maintain the target speed, roughly 90 kilometers an hour. You'll see a status bar in the lower right of your screen with a line indicator letting you know what's happening. If you keep the speed up, it'll turn green and all is well. If you go too slow, it'll dip into the red and begin alarming, letting you know that the big kaboom is imminent. I like this one because of the challenge. You'll find that the pickup location of this car is always in an area that is not necessarily suited for high speed. But don't despair. A lot of people end up panicking and want to keep the speed maxed, but this isn't the best tactic. It'll just increase your chances of crashing or getting pinned against something, resulting in the big kaboom. My tips here are the following. First, don't go too fast. All you need is for the indicator to show a sliver of green, no more. Second, don't be afraid to slow down around corners or obstacles. You're actually allowed a decent amount of time when you're in the red. So, again, use this to avoid bigger obstacles. And thirdly, plan your route to the nearest interstate or multi-lane road quickly. This will usually result in less traffic and more wiggle room to maneuver. Okay, coming in at number 4 is the one I like to call the race circuit. The premise is this. You need to head to a car race and steal one of the cars during the actual race. The location of the race will vary, but it's always going to be of the oval variety. meaning you're going to see a bunch of cars simply going round and round on a racetrack. I like this one because it's kind of fun getting the sourced vehicle to stop. You see, this is the mission where I utilize the up and atomizer. I do this for two reasons. One, I hate trying to headshot an NPC while they're driving, especially on a racetrack when they're going round and round and round. And two, it's fun. Sure, you may inflict little damage on the car, but all in all, it's worth it. You can always get the car to stumble or stop in order to eliminate the driver, and watching him flip-flop through the air is simply icing on the cake. Number 3 on the list is the crime scene scenario. I like this one because it's quick and easy, plus it's usually located fairly close to your warehouse. So once you have the car, it's not such a long drive back. The basic content is this. The vehicle is surrounded by police and the driver is dead. It's basically a crime scene investigation. Once you get close enough to the area, it's simply a matter of choosing your weapon of choice and killing the cops to steal the car. You'll get a wanted level that you can call Lester to clear, but here's the trick. You need to make sure you're in the car before calling Lester. The urge might be to kill the cops and then call Lester, but if you do this, once you get in the car, you'll get a wanted level again. So just make sure you're actually in the car before dialing. Okay, number 2 on the list has many scenarios and names. It's either the photo shoot or the movie stunt. They're basically all the same. You need to head to a location, steal a car, and if it's the stunt movie, you'll have to complete a little stunt in order to get the car, and then deliver it back to the warehouse. When you arrive, there's always some security guards standing around the car, but you can easily dispatch them to get the car. And I haven't yet mentioned this, but the reason I recommended either the Cargo Bob or the Iron Mule is that you can use these to deliver your vehicle back to your warehouse. And I know there's some people out there that say it's way faster to just drive the car back, and they may be right, but what you're almost guaranteed of when you use the helicopters is that you will inflict 0 damage on the car, something you will almost never get if you end up driving the car back, especially if you're being chased by enemies. And 0 damage equals less money lost, which I tend to like. And as far as being slower, it's worth mentioning that the new Iron Mule is a beast. There's literally 0 lag and effort when you're picking up a vehicle, and it's pretty quick too. Way faster than the Cargo Bob. Just be cautious of its footprint. It's not a vehicle you can squeeze into tight spaces. Alright, coming in at number 1 on the list is the race bet. Your assistant tells you that the owner of the vehicle is willing to hand over the pink slip to anyone that can beat his point-to-point personal best time. Sounds very simple and easy, but the biggest challenge here is that it's a pretty quick time to beat, especially if you're having to travel the mean streets of Los Santos. Well, not to fear, because as long as you have the Mark II in your arsenal, you are good to go. You see, one of the stipulations of the race is that you need to use a land vehicle, either a car, a truck, or a motorcycle. And if you're unaware, Rockstar has designated the Mark II Oppressor as a quote-unquote motorcycle. So, yeah, easy peasy. Simply head to the waypoint on the map, and then once you enter the starting line area, a 3-second countdown begins, and then the race time, which you can ignore, and the destination are revealed. Just begin flying in a straight line towards the finish line, and you'll always beat the time. Easy, quick, and stress-free. Just remember to have a weapon ready once you land. It turns out the owner was lying about handing over the pink slip and wants to rough you up instead. What's the old adage? Never bring a baseball bat to a gunfight? Alright, so that's my friends. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like this video and want to help out, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and let me know what you think. What's your thoughts on this week's bonuses? Are you a fan of the import-export business? Or perhaps you have some additional tips and tricks you'd like to share. If so, drop a comment below and let everyone know. Until next time, be happy, be well, be safe on TV. The one Maestro.